Good evening, Crime Crunchies. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I am your host, Courtney C., a 27-year veteran of the media. I'm joining a little bit early. I'm ready to go. I wanted to say hello. Thank you all so much for joining me. Ay, ay, ay. It has been quite the week in the Nancy Guthrie saga. Unfortunately, no new big news today. We do have a little bit of an update on the Buscando Corazones de Nogales group. But what I really want to continue diving into tonight is all about Zack, because might be nothing there, might be something there. I don't know. It's worth looking at. Everything is worth looking at. I'm not going to shy away from any topic as long as it makes sense and it could logically be a piece of the puzzle. So let me share my screen. And while I do that, if you are new, please subscribe. Please subscribe and hit that notification bell. Okay, so I'm starting out on ChatGPT, which I'm very transparent. I use ChatGPT not as my only research because it's not always right and it does not give any emotional opinions, but it's a good starting point. So I use ChatGPT. A lot of you guys use Gemini. I haven't branched out yet, but I wanted to find out about Zack Yahoub. I know I'm not doing a good job pronouncing that, but Zack is who we kind of focused on in my episode last night. And Zack Yahoub is somebody that JLR Investigates had pointed out in February. Okay. And JLR has a big following. I'm pretty sure that people reached out to him that are probably familiar with Tucson, probably know people, know things, and turn JLR onto Zack. So there's a big tie-in with the Range Rover and Luke Daly that had gotten swatted and detained, and the Range Rover was apparently bought by Luke Daly and his mother from MG Motors in Tucson that Zack has supposedly been confirmed to work for. Now, in some Reddit forums, apparently folks found out that Zack used to work for MG Motors in Tucson based on photos on MG Motors' Facebook page. Now, I went to MG Motors' Facebook page today, and I don't know if they opted to pull any pictures of employees, but I could not find pictures of anybody. There were just pictures of cars that were for sale, albums of cars for sale, etc. So I could not find anything with anybody in a picture. So I have to take a lot of what I read in social forums and on Reddit with a grain of salt. A lot of it could be rumor mill. Shit, Zack could be rumor mill. I don't know, but there's a bit there. And we watched Zack's interview last night with JLR, and I don't know, there's just something about Zack. I mean, he could be coming off completely truthful. I just felt like he was a bit too talkative. And what we have seen in some other cases, if somebody's kind of running on and giving a lot more detail than they need to, typically it's because they're trying to tell a story and they're trying to prove a point of their truth. They're trying to share their truth with somebody. And typically when you see people take the stand in court cases, if they give very short, concise answers, it means that they're recalling something and they're more truthful. It's when somebody starts going into a story or a backstory or why they did this and zigzagging, usually it's because they're not being truthful. So kind of, without knowing him, it kind of comes off as being a little untruthful. We're going to watch a video of one of his first interviews by Justin at Clutch Them Pearls from a month ago. And I'm going to see if there's any difference in delivery. But I first wanted to ask ChatGPT about how this whole thing came about. And my question was, what has JLR Live Investigates reported about Zack? So what ChatGPT is pulling up and scraping from the internet is JLR repeatedly stated that Zack's name had been brought up frequently by online followers during discussions of the Nancy Guthrie investigation. JLR hosted Zack on a live stream where he answered questions directly. And that's at least from yesterday. I have not looked to see if there was an earlier interview. I believe that the interview yesterday was JLR's first interview. But again, this is just kind of confirming that I do believe that people went to JLR with their information. Locals went to JLR, and that's how this whole thing started. So during those appearances, Zack reportedly denied involvement and stated that he had been living in Jordan since 2019. Now, Zack's wife is from Tucson. He admits that he lived in Tucson with his wife and his children, but moved back to Jordan because it's safer, which I don't know if it really, maybe it is, maybe it's safer. It's just that's why he said he left. His wife prefers living in Jordan. He claimed he became the target of online accusations, threats, and messages after internet users connected his name to the case. JLR's broadcast discussed why internet sleuths were focused on him, including claims that he had connections to Tucson and similarities that some viewers believed matched descriptions circulating online. However, these discussions were largely centered on allegations of public speculation rather than confirmed evidence. Public social media posts and interviews reported that Zack was among individuals detained and questioned by investigators early in the case. Detention for questioning is not the same as being charged or name a suspect. And I specifically asked if somebody is like they schedule a phone call with detectives and they are interviewed over the phone internationally, is that the same thing as being detained? And ChatGPT said pretty much no, that's not the same as being detained. Detained is where you're physically like given Miranda rights and then you're asked questions in a formal setting, you know, with the police, etc. But I'm questioning whether or not he was detained because Bill Garcia was interviewed on the YouTube show Criminally Obsessed, and Bill Garcia pointed to Zack as a suspect without saying his name and stated that Zack had been detained and that he has proof that Zack was in the United States at the time around Nancy's murder or kidnapping, I should say. So if there was more information to come out publicly about Zack, I mean, maybe Zack, he was very laughy, giggly, not giggly, but he was laughing. He was kind of jokey. He didn't sound, you know, defensive or angry, but it just didn't sound, I don't know, it was too jokey. Maybe he feels safe being in another country, but there is potentially extradition from Jordan. Okay, there's only a few countries where it's a little bit harder to extradite somebody, but again, I'm not sure. Now, I've mentioned several times that when, you know, after my lives are done, I only do lives, I don't do editing. I work off the cuff a little bit better. I read all of your comments, and I've gotten so much information just from people with connections. And I wanted to share a comment because it's already public. This was left from last night's video, and it's from viewer Steve Norris 2731, and I thought it was very interesting, and I wanted to share this. So Steve says, I can tell you exactly who Bill Garcia, the private investigator, is referring to. His name is Zaydun Zack Jagoub. He was in Tucson during the time Nancy Guthrie disappeared, despite the fact he says he hasn't been here since 2019. He left the U.S. and went to Jordan. He was detained by police and is the one who led police to the Range Rover and the detention of and search of Luke Daly and his house. Also, the Bitcoin address in the first two ransom letters led back to the Middle East. ? Jordan ... Stick a pin in this post. You'll be hearing more about this. I've posted more info and video of Jagoub driving a Range Rover in Tucson, although I've replied to Steve Norris and asked him if he could share his ex, or somewhere I can see this video. So more, Zack Jagoub lived in an apartment complex on Campbell Avenue, just south of River Road, 3 miles away from Nancy Guthrie's. The video I posted on X on February 15th, this is pretty early in, shows Jagoub delivering a surprise birthday cake in the back of his Range Rover to his awaiting daughter at their Tucson apartment. Now, I have another viewer who claims that he has seen this video of Zack with the birthday cake. And so if anybody knows where this video of Zack delivering a birthday cake, if you can share it in the chat or the comments or email me, my email is crimecrunchies@gmail.com. That would be amazing. And I don't know, I haven't heard back from Steve Norris yet. I'm hoping to get more information, but I mean, he sounds pretty serious about this. And I also want to point out this, the sentence that says he was detained, referring to Zack. He was detained by police and is the one who led police to the Range Rover. So is Zack pointing the finger at Luke? Now, there have been some other people who have mentioned that Luke and Zack may have worked together at MG Motors or have a connection through that dealership. Now, we all know dealerships. If people, it's very incestuous. People will move around dealerships, and there's probably some sort of a network of people, tentacles of people who end up knowing each other. Okay, especially in Tucson. Tucson's not a huge city, and so it's very likely that they do know each other if they both work for a car dealer. Okay, Joe says he has videos of car auctions and beach videos often. He claims the dates were changed. I don't think so. I don't think so. But this does sound interesting to me, that if Zack is feeling heat and he's pointing, why is he pointing the police to the Range Rover? And that night outside Culver's, they had the Range Rover in the parking lot, and there was an entire curtain covering the back. They had the back of the SUV open, and then they had this sheet. And I swear to God, I felt like there was a body inside. And if not a body, then was forensics in there swabbing goo? And I'm not saying that to be mean. I don't know. It just looked weird. Why do they have it covered? It made me feel like there was something in there, and it creeped me out a little bit. And I think other people had that same reaction. Although watching folks like Jennifer Coffendorfer, and I want to point out that I get a lot of people say mean things to me, and I love reading the mean messages because it means you guys are watching. Somebody referred to her as Jennifer Coffendagger, and that just cracked me up. But Jennifer Coffendorfer mentioned that sometimes they'll drape a sheet over just for privacy, but I don't know, guys. That just seems weird. Maybe media was there, but what was there that they were hiding from the public? They impounded the car and then they returned the car. So what was in the car? What's this Range Rover? And I mean, they made such a big show out of those two swattings that maybe one of them led nowhere, but it seems to me like that one at Culver's was a pretty big deal. And, Luke lawyered up, not saying anything, and this is all alleged. We don't know what's going on. This is just very strange to me. If Zack was in Tucson and he immediately leaves to go back to Jordan, supposedly Bill Garcia, the PI, claims that he has some information indicating that the suspect went as far as 300 miles to an airport, maybe Yuma, then maybe to LAX, and then flew home internationally. Zack claims that he showed his passport, and I don't know if that's to Justin on Clutch Them Pearls. I'm going to play that interview next, but you can't tell those stamps. The stamps are not, I mean, shoot, when I go through my passport book, I have to really like look to see, oh yeah, that was Ireland, that was Scotland. You can't, that's nothing. So I thought that this comment was very interesting. And when Stephen says, stick a pin in this post, you'll be hearing more about this. There's a reason. Okay, so let's watch Justin on Clutch Them Pearls. And I love Justin. I just think I would be his friend. I really have to say that. I've not tuned into any of his stuff, but I feel like I like extra people. I love extra people. So let me switch my little thingy over so I can get the volume on Justin. Let's get Justin up. All right, I have this right when before this. This is when Zack, and I do want to comment. Zack looks like he's gained a little weight in the last month. And I specifically pointed that out because in the JLR interview, one of the ladies joining JLR asked him to put his phone and walk, and they wanted to see, and he looked a little chubbier, and he pointed it out. He says, I'm a little bit bigger than Porch Guy, but his height is right. Zack is about 5'9". We think Porch Guy's 5'9". And I mean, he has very manicured eyebrows, and he looks a little thinner. He could purposely be putting weight on. So anyway, let's just tune in. I want to see if there are some differences between last month and this month and see if he's as confident.
No, there's no chat. I can't see any chats.
Maybe
I don't know why.
Maybe you can pull it up on your phone.
All right, there. Let me forward a little bit.
So you can, how would you explain that your name popped up with all of this?
All right,
I'm gonna tell you how. Okay. I think the sheriff department or the police pulled over a Range Rover on 10th or 13th of February. I think so. This is the date. I forget the exact date. And they checked the car and they questioned the driver that time. So I don't know who. You know that the plate holder. There's a plate holder, right?
Yeah.
Any dealer, dealer, big, small, he have all these stuff.
That's how they advertise their license plate.
Yes, right?
Right.
Okay, the people saw that plate holder on that Range Rover, and they went on Instagram. Facebook, everywhere. They checked MG Motors Instagram account. Then they checked the cars. They found a car. It's not a Sport. It's a Vogue, a Range Rover Vogue. It's not the same car. It's another car. Totally, it's not the same car. And they thought this is the car the police pulled over that day.
Yes.
Okay. When they checked the likes on that car, they found Zack like that car.
Wow.
If you go to MG Motors account, you're gonna find I liked every single car on that account. Every single car. And they found that MG following me. From the following list, the MG following me. So if you go to that post for the Range Rover Vogue, you're gonna see there's people telling other people that Zack liked that car. This is his car, and all these stuff about me. Okay.
Right. So go ahead.
Tell me. Ask me.
No, you're good. You're good. Keep going. You're fine.
Okay. So that day, too much people followed me on Instagram. They add me on Snapchat. They add me on Facebook. There's people ask me about someone, her name Nancy. Where is Nancy? Tell us, what the truth, what you did to her.
Mhm.
Who's Nancy? Who's Nancy? When I checked online, there is a case about an old lady, her name Nancy. Okay, I don't know Nancy. I left Tucson a long time ago. Uh, I don't know anything about that case.
Mhm.
I know one thing, that Range Rover MG Motors sold it to a guy with his mother.
Mhm. Luke
How would he
Daly.
know that?
Yes,
Mhm.
they showed up. They showed up to the dealer.
How would he know that?
They showed up to the dealer and they bought that car.
So you've
And
never spoken to Luke. You don't know Luke. You don't know his
no, no, no,
mother.
How
You
would he
don't
no,
know
know
no.
who
anyone
it was
around
sold
him.
to?
No, no, no. Zero.
Okay.
Who was liking their
I
picture?
saw Luke online.
Mhm. Okay.
Online after what happened. And like any other people saw Luke online on
Mhm.
Facebook, on Instagram after what that thing happened.
Mhm. So you worked at this dealership at one
Yes,
time.
yes, I used to.
Oh,
Okay.
now
How long
he's
did
saying.
you work there, and when did you work there?
From 2018 to till I left. 2019.
Okay, 2018.
July 2019, yes.
But
Okay.
yeah,
So
never
you're
mind.
not part owner or anything like
No,
that.
no.
Okay. Okay. Did you ever work for like a Mercedes dealership?
In Tucson, no.
No. Okay. Okay. Um. All right. So whenever like uh your background says that you still or still live in Tucson, which is very interesting. Which is very interesting. Um, it shouldn't say that. It really shouldn't say that, especially if you. I mean, I'm just going. I'm taking your word for it that you have not lived in the country in 6 years, nearly,
Yes,
or
that's
more,
right.
7, close to 7, actually.
That's right.
So why do you think it would? I mean, do you have family in Tucson? Is that? I mean, that could be why. But why would it be?
Family in Tucson? No, I don't have family in Tucson.
What?
Okay.
My family here in Georgia.
Okay.
His wife's from Tucson.
So that's it's very I guess coincidental that how your name comes up, and then there is this on your record it says that that you live at an apartment.
Yes,
Three.
that's my old apartment.
Mm-hmm. And
It's
when did you?
on Campbell.
Yeah, I didn't want to say or anything like that, but yeah, you said it. But
This is the apartment that they said that Zack living near Nancy home.
yeah, and
Yes,
it's about 3 minutes. I think it's or 3 miles, maybe 3 miles rather. From
yes, this is my old apartment.
Mhm.
I left the apartment on June.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, this is a tale of two Zacks. This Zack we're seeing here is saying he doesn't have any family in Tucson, and the Zack from 2 days ago, JLR, this is a tale of two Zacks, and he 100% is thinner in this from a month ago. This is a tale of two Zacks.
Same year,
June of
2019.
2019.
Yes.
Yeah. Let me see here one
Yeah,
second.
Justin's
I'm
awesome.
looking at a question here.
He's asking him hard questions.
So,
you know?
do you have kids in the United States?
No.
Oh my
Okay.
My kids in
God.
no, my kids in Georgia.
Okay. Because I was curious because you said in the other interview that I think it was I don't know the channel. I apologize. Someone in chat can remind me. That you left Dubai. I think it was I don't remember when you said it, but you left Dubai and came to the United States because you had a child being born.
Yes, that's right. 2017.
Mm-hmm. So
Yes. Now he's 9 years old.
congratulations. I have
Thank you.
3 kids. I understand.
I have 2.
I understand. So you leave Dubai and then go to the United States, and your son is born, right?
No. First time I went to the States 2016, October 2016.
I'm sorry, say that again. I apologize. I didn't hear you.
The first time I went to the States, October 2016. I stayed there for 2 months, then I left back.
Okay.
Yes.
You come like on a. I'm not trying to be nosy or anything, but actually, I am nosy.
No problem.
Actually, I am nosy. What am I saying?
No problem. Tell me.
Do you did you come like on a visa with
to the US, you mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like a visa,
No. And yes, a green card, immigration, because my wife US citizen.
I was gonna say you're probably a permanent resident now, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah, I figured you was permanent resident. Yeah.
Yeah, but my family, the wife and the kids, is a US citizen.
Yeah. Half of my family are Muslim, so I understand your culture
Really?
very well. I've been throughout the Middle East and India, Pakistan, all of there. So yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So okay. So I got that one. Zach, did you have a new child or okay, your son have a child? Okay. Why did you cover the back of the car? Why did they cover the back of the car with a sheet, please? And well, I see. I don't know if he can answer that.
He's asking me. I don't know.
Yeah, because the Range Rover that they picked up was Luke's. It is Luke's.
Yes, it's for Luke.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Zach, I need to go back up here with your questions, guys. Zach, why? Okay, that one. Okay. What did YouTuber ask?
Coming, please.
So yeah. So would you be willing to show your passport stamps? Not your passport, just the stamp, your last stamp on your passport. Okay.
Stay on the line.
Okay. Let's see if he watch your time to
I mean, he has different energy.
What did he do? That's a good question. Presently states.
And we don't know what he's going to show his passport. This is a waste of time, in my opinion.
What does that mean?
And his answers
to
Justin are not anywhere the same answers he gave to JLR.
Ask he's friends with Chapman, the guy that owns. Yes, very good question.
See, these are locals asking these questions. This is the only way we're going to get
that.
How, I mean, these have to be locals from Tucson because no one's going to know these questions unless you're from Tucson.
The wrist tattoo, whoever mentioned it. No, there is no tattoo. I asked that one. Don't, whatever you do, please do not show your information. You know what I mean? Like, don't show your picture. Whatever you do, don't show your picture. Just like your stamps. I think you're muted. Or you might. No, he doesn't have any tattoos. Tattoos, and I'm not saying this for all Muslims, don't take me wrong, but tattoos in Islam is considered haram, which means forbidden. Just an FYI. I can't hear you, Zach. I think you're muted. So Robin, he wouldn't have. I don't think he would have a dual citizenship if he's a permanent resident. A permanent resident is someone who can live in the United States 100% of the time if they want. But to me, it's very interesting. Maybe his earbuds that or something. It's very interesting to me that he says that he's a permanent resident and he hasn't been in the United States in 6 years. I think that's interesting, but that's just me. Yeah, what's up? Yeah, I can't hear you still.
Yeah, I don't know that there was a tattoo
I can't hear you.
on Porch Guy. I think that's been possibly debunked. He needs to unconnect his
Go out and come back in, maybe.
So, Joe, where do you see these pictures?
Good question, Dominique. Good question. I'm starring your question so I can ask him. I don't know who you're talking to, but this looks so much like the guy.
Aristocratic.
Ay. This is live. Yes, you can ask your questions. I'll ask him that. Share. Have you given DNA freely? I need to ask him about the FBI. Very good question. Do you know A&T? Good question. Luke and Zack are two different people. Correct. Has he ever heard or had any contact with Derek? Good question. Are you there?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Yep. Can you hear me? Yep.
Clear?
Yep. Clear.
Okay.
Yeah. So whatever you do, do not show your picture of your passport, please.
All right. We don't know that this is going to be the last stamp. I appreciate Justin and
okay, can you see it? Can you see that?
Hold on 1 second here. Let me 1 second. Let me. I think I have to do it this way.
It's too small to see a date.
Damn, how do I do this? Shit a brick. When you're live, it's give me a second. I want to just put you on there. How do I do solo? Shit.
Let me see if I can fast forward this.
Wrong one. Here we go. All right. Can you show it, Zach?
All right. Let's see what we can see.
Can you see it?
Mm-hmm.
2016. Okay, that's 2018.
That's good. And
that's
you can see some dates. All right, I'm just going to start flipping through. November.
I'm out of the U.S. Long time ago.
I'll go through those slowly in a little bit. Okay. Perfect.
Look,
thank you very much. Don't show your picture, please. For God's sake.
No, I'm not showing the picture.
Okay.
Look.
You travel a lot, don't you?
Yeah. I'm not staying in my.
This doesn't prove anything. He's cherry picking pages.
This is the last stamp for me to get inside the US. The last one here.
March 27th, 2019. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Into the US. He said he left in 2019.
When's the last time you traveled?
I traveled to where?
Anywhere. US? Abroad, period.
Last time I went to Istanbul, I think so.
Istanbul.
Here it is.
Well, and I wanted to mention also, sorry, I have allergies. Somebody also posted in my comments that it's odd that Luke, and I don't know where Luke lives, that hasn't come out, but somebody mentioned that, I mean, Range Rovers are not it's not a cheap car. How are these people affording $200,000, $100,000 vehicles? And I thought that was a good question.
Yes, it's not Istanbul and Egypt. Here, it's Egypt and Istanbul.
And when was that? 2025?
Egypt is stamped in Arabic, but the Turkish one, I can't to be honest
Okay.
understand the dates of Turkish.
Right.
But
Yeah,
I
this is
think here there is.
Yeah, it's very expensive.
Our
Hotels are
normal
horribly
date.
expensive.
Yes, is here.
I mean, that's
October.
a
Yeah,
lot of
this
money,
is
you guys.
10, 2025.
I went to CrimeCon in Vegas, and do you know the hotel alone? I went one night before CrimeCon started. The hotel alone, with their rate, was $1,200. Airfare to Vegas was almost $600 on Southwest. Okay, and that's not counting $20 bottles of water. It's really expensive. So anyway,
You see it?
Yep.
not judging,
I see
but
it. Thank you very much for
very
that. I
expensive to
appreciate that
travel
very
anymore.
much.
It's not cheap.
That goes a long way in my book. Oh shit! What'd I do?
Vegas
One
used to
second.
be super cheap to go
How do
to,
I fix
but it's
this?
not
Give
anymore.
me a second, guys. I'm way over here. Okay. I think
Okay,
we're good.
I want to say something, Justin.
Please.
But you can't judge the people because somebody else, I'm sorry to say that, stupid people feeling that this guy or this person, he did this or did that, and you believing these stupid people. Okay,
Right. Sure.
you need approvals.
Well,
There's
yes.
people say I sold the car. Okay, there's people say that the police pulled me over inside the Range Rover. Okay, there's people say that Zack shoot himself inside a white van. I don't know where is it.
Don't worry about that. Yeah, that's bullshit.
Yes.
Don't even worry about that.
Yes. I want to show you 100 of messages, bad messages.
Listen, I seen it, and listen.
Okay, they talking about me. Sick people, sick in the head, stupid people. They know one thing. They know one thing about Muslims. They know one thing. Like they brainwashed. They thought the Muslims is bad. They thought is or Arab is bad. We are not. We are normal people like other people. We love everybody.
Listen, yeah, I will be the first to say, if you don't like Muslims, you probably don't like my channel. Then okay, because half of my family are Muslim. So
yeah, no one's bringing that into this.
That's complete bullshit.
Yes,
someone saying that. That's ignorance.
Now, I'm going to tell you more stories about Zack. There's people say
here because
I'm telling you, they showed up the next day to MG Motors. They didn't ask about.
Let me go back.
I
want to get to the meat
look
of
at you.
Messages on the direct. She said, "Hey, listen, leave them."
Right. And so
that's it.
Why did you call them?
I call to clear my name.
Well, I mean,
I'm telling you, they showed up the next day to MG Motors. They didn't ask about me. They didn't mention my name. They only asked who bought the car. They want the documents, and that's it.
Okay.
Yes, but I called them after maybe 1 week, 10 days after what happened, not directly.
Okay. You thought criminal? Yeah, at least 8. Yeah. Brandy and Indy says, I'm confused. He said he worked for MG from 2018 to 2019. So when did he enter in 2019 if he left in July of 2019? I'm not being mean, just asking.
I entered March. I just show you the stamp.
He said he
because
worked.
I left. Then I went back on March.
Mm-hmm. Why was your name on the Range Rover list?
Why what? What's this question again?
Rutui said your name was on the Range Rover list.
What list?
I think it was. I'll have to look on something and get back to you on that, Zach, because there was, and I don't know this because I have to look, but they said that your name was attached to the Range Rover. I don't know, so
Yes,
I'm not
I told you why. Because of the plate holder.
But I don't think it was like you never owned the Range Rover, though, did you?
No. MG owned that car, not me.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Let me see here. I'm way behind in chat. Let me see here. So you don't have...
Has your brother stolen your identity? Who's my brother? I don't have any brothers in US.
Yeah, I asked him if he had any family in the US.
No, I don't have any family in US. Zero.
Yeah. So you asked if it would be okay for you to come back to the United States. Why did you ask that question? What concerned you about you coming back to the United States? You're a permanent resident. You can come back anytime.
I left before the pandemic. Then the pandemic.
But you're a permanent resident.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, other than a citizenship, you're just pretty much as American as I am, essentially.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I mean, a permanent resident means you can come to America anytime you like, stay as long as you like, because I know about immigration and all that. But
yeah, but if you left US more than 6 months,
no,
more than 6 months, or
not if you're a permanent resident. You can come back.
Yes, that's right.
You can come back anytime if you're a permanent resident.
But if you left for a long distance, so like I left more than 1 or 2 years. Okay, so that time I need to get a new visa or get something like SB1.
Not if you're a permanent resident. You don't need a USB1.
No, I'm gonna show you, but my pictures is there.
Don't show your picture. Please do not show your picture. Do not show your picture, okay?
Yeah, because like
I'm going to kick you if you show your picture. Do not show your picture.
Because I get an SP1 to get again into US, but I didn't.
Are you sure you're a permanent resident?
Yes, I'm sure.
Okay.
Why?
I mean, it just maybe it's changed. I don't know, but I will
change. What do you mean change? I'm a US citizen now.
You're a citizen now?
No.
No. But a permanent resident is right before you become a citizen, essentially. And a permanent resident, you shouldn't, like, you've been cleared, all of that stuff. You shouldn't need I don't know. I'll look into it.
Tell me.
I mean, it was just to me, it was just I mean, I can understand, like, I can, but I can't. Like, you just saying, is this, can I come back or whatever? That was just interesting. The Range Rover was depleted out. What is that? The Range Rover was depleted out of Nancy's case. Why was his hands constantly in front of his face in the interview?
Are you an accountant, Zach? Now I'm accountant manager. I'm not accountant anymore.
So you've worked at also a I'll just call it a doctor's office. Don't say the name. I don't want you to say the name or anything. But you also worked for a doctor's office in
doctor's office? Where in Tucson? You mean?
Mm-hmm. When I say doctor, we'll call it a skin doctor.
No.
Then why is your name on it?
On what? Tell me.
I'll send you the picture.
Okay, send me.
I gotta find it.
You're gonna send it where? To my Instagram?
Your
account?
Instagram. Yeah, I'll send it to your Instagram. We'll just call it a dermatologist. You never was an accountant for a dermatologist?
Send me the paper. I will tell you when I see it.
Let me find it. Let's see here.
So I'm trying to find this video. Steve
Bear
Norris
with me.
got back to me, and
here it is.
I'm trying to find the video of him delivering a birthday cake in
Zach, do you know A&T?
Tucson.
Who's A&T?
You know Annie and Tommaso.
Who's this guy? No.
Okay.
Who's Annie and Tommaso? No, I don't know. This is the first time. Okay, you sent a picture?
Yeah, I sent it. You never worked for them? Guys, you can ask respectful questions. If there is anybody being disrespectful to any guest, I don't care if you agree with him or not, we will not have it in this chat. You can ask your questions respectfully, or you can get the flying out of here. Just ask, you can write respectfully, Justin, are you an ass? And I'll say, oh, absolutely. Right? Oh, sorry, Zach. There. Are you there, Zach? Well, shut up, Rick. What happened? The wheel's spinning, but the hamster's dead. It's not working. Come back again,
Let me
Zach.
see if I can fast forward.
Try again. There's 2 phases in getting a U.S. citizen. There is. Yes. Yeah, allegedly.
I don't know, to be honest.
So, I'm way behind in chat, guys. Has he ever heard or had any contact with Derek? Do you know who Derek is?
Family that live here beside his wife. I'm sorry if you all know this already. My wife? Where's my wife?
If married to a U.S. citizen, many people can apply after 3 years as a green card holder. I think that is
yes, many people can apply after 3 years as a green card. No, you can apply directly for a green card, and you're gonna get the citizen after 20 months. But you need to live in U.S. for 20 months.
Yeah, I know.
20 months within 36 months. This is the rule.
Mm-hmm. Why haven't you been to the United States in 6 years if you're U.S.?
Exactly, read the chat. Yes, I can read the chat. What the question just said?
Why haven't you been to the U.S. in 6 years if you're a permanent resident and you travel all around?
Because I have job in Dubai. That's why I stayed there. After that, the pandemic came, showed up on February 2020 and March, and they locked the airports.
I believe he did say the FBI called him in the other interview. I'm pretty sure. So
FBI called me.
Yeah. And
I thought in another interview he said FBI called him. Guys, I called them.
Okay.
I asked my friends over there. I want to talk to them. They said, oh, if they want you, they're gonna call you. So I asked too much to call them. So one of my friends sent me a number. I called the lady. She's an officer. I called her. Yes,
Okay.
that's it.
Okay.
Did you speak to FBI directly? I don't know. She's from FBI or Sheriff Department. I don't know.
Can I send you a ski
I know
mask?
her. I know her name. That's it.
Can I send you a ski mask?
Oh my God.
A ski mask?
Yeah.
Send me?
Yeah, a ski mask.
Where are you gonna send it? Where did
I'll send it to Jordan. Where did the accusation come from? Must have been sister's husband. Sister's.
What sister's
I don't know what
husband?
I don't know what you mean by that. JCD. Sorry. Yes, he may have a green card, but he's not a permanent resident. Seriously, the business had him listed as owner. It has changed now. I think the business might be using his name. He should check into that. Yeah,
what's the question? What you said?
There's some very interesting things here. The thing that really has me is truly your background, Zach. It says that you are still in Tucson.
Yes, I think so. One of my interviews, a guy showed up in the interview. He said, "Your address now on MG Motors."
Well, it does have you there, but it also has you at the apartment that's 3 miles from Nancy and close to Luke's home.
No, that old apartment. But
I know.
now my address is at MG Motors now. Now, if anybody check my address, now
No.
my address is MG Motors.
Yeah, I checked it. Mine says the apartment.
The apartment?
Mm-hmm.
No, I left the apartment a long time ago. 7 years ago.
Yeah, it doesn't say that though, and that's what's very interesting.
They said the apartment on Campbell.
Yes, and it still says you are actively there.
Actively there? No. So even
all right. So
I changed my address on my old ID. No, it's not. For
I'm
sure,
going
100%,
to
1,000%.
stop this for right now.
Why have you?
I'm going to share some things that I just found. Okay, I'm flipping it around. So just hold on a second. I'm going to share my screen. All right. So while we were doing that, I found a few other things. All right. So I was pointed to this LinkedIn account. Zaidon Jagoub, and it's saying accountant. And he was just talking about being an accountant in Tucson. And so Steve Norris contacted me in comments, and I'm trying to get the link to the birthday, but apparently this is supposedly Zack's LinkedIn page, and there was a link to him working at MG Motors on this, but now it just says accountant Tucson, August 2017 to present. Okay, so this is supposedly Zack's LinkedIn. And so this is a message that Steve Norris just sent me 4 minutes ago. So it says, Steve Norris at Crime Crunchies. I tried to include it here because I'd asked him to send me his X handle. And Steve says, I tried to include it here, but YouTube kept deleting my posts. It's Steve Norris TV, which I did find on X. I do believe this guy, talking about Zack, is squarely in the focus of investigators. They did detain him, which is what led authorities to Luke Daly and the Range Rover. Did Jahub try to wrongly throw police off his scent by sending them in Daly's direction? Jahub worked at MG Motors, which is owned by his Middle Eastern friends, where Daly and his mother purchased the Range Rover. Zack fled to Jordan shortly after he was detained before a solid case that would be winnable in court could be built. So when you see Nanos imply that we're getting close or making good progress, paraphrasing, it seems almost certain to me that this guy is the target. Why no arrest? ? Because investigators are still trying to gather and test evidence. Trying to get him extradited to US will definitely be an obstacle. I don't know if US and Jordan have an extradition treaty. And who knows where Jahub is at this point. A couple things you can look at. Check out the Parade magazine article. Zack Jahub speaks out to clear his name in Nancy Guthrie disappearance case. Also check out Jahub's LinkedIn account. He's deleted his connection to MG Motors. It now just says accountant in Tucson. He also deleted his posts. Maybe there were posts on LinkedIn. When Garcia, that's Bill Garcia, the PI, said one of his associates unmasked porch guy, it strongly resembled, some say matched Jahub. My advice to you, Courtney, continue to dig right where you are now. Okay, so we just looked at the LinkedIn, but I want to also mention that somebody also posted in my comments, because Bill Garcia stated that he has someone on his team that's using techniques from the Cold War. And I'm thinking, Cold War, that's 80s. Okay, that's 80s and whatever. We had no technology in the 80s. I am from the 80s. There was no technology, but there was drinking out of hoses and running outside. But this person said in the Cold War, they did remote viewing. Okay, and I'm not going to get hoobie-jooby here, but remote viewing is Cold War remote viewing refers to the US government's secret research and espionage programs aimed at harnessing clairvoyance for military intelligence. Fearing the Soviet Union held similar capabilities, the CIA and Defense Intelligence Agency sponsored extensive psychic testing at the Stanford Research Institute from 1972 to 1995. Stargate Project, initially launched under code names like Scan8, this military initiative was eventually consolidated under Project Stargate. The goal was to train individuals to use psychoenergetics to mentally observe distant, highly classified geographic locations, hidden enemy facilities, and individuals without leaving the room. The government officially shut down and declassified these programs in the mid-1990s after the CIA transferred control to the CIA-commissioned American Institutes for Research, which concluded the psychic intelligence was too inconsistent and vague for reliable operational use. Okay, so that is true. If you've heard of remote viewing, then is that what Bill Garcia is talking about? He has someone who is able to remote view. Here's the article that Steve Norris was forwarding me to. if you've been following, and it says Zack Jahoub speaks out to clear his name in Nancy Guthrie disappearance case, and this is Saturday, February 21st. So let's see if there's anything here. So Saturday, February 21st, if you've been following the Nancy Guthrie case, you will probably recognize the name Zack Jahoub. Here's why. Guthrie, 84, went missing on Sunday, February 1st, and authorities believe she may have been abducted from her Arizona home in the middle of the night. On February 13th, a raid took place at a home not too far from Guthrie's home. Additionally, authorities detained a man who was driving a Range Rover. The car was marked with evidence tape and towed at the request of law enforcement on the scene. The internet looked at photos and videos of the Range Rover and noticed that there was a license plate cover on the car from MG Motors in Tucson. From there, people went to the MG Motors Instagram page, found a photo of Range Rover from September 2025, went through the likes on the post, and found Jahoub. Okay, so that lines up with what he just told us in Justin's interview. Some people also noticed that the account was following Jahoub, whom some people say looks like he could be the person under the ski mask of the subject standing on Guthrie's front stoop on the night she went missing. All right, this is not a complete picture. On Saturday, February 21st, Jahoub spoke exclusively with Parade in an effort to clear his name after more than a week of harassment and nasty messages from people accusing him of crimes he knew nothing about. Jahoub, 40, did in fact work at MG Motors in Tucson, which is owned by his friends, which I think he just denied that in Justin's interview, didn't he? Did he deny he doesn't know anyone there? However, he tells me that he's living in Jordan and hasn't lived in the United States since 2019. So this is, quote, "I'm going to be honest with you. These people are stupid," Jahoub said. They don't have like a sure confirmation that Zack, why does he talks in third person here? Okay, so they don't have like a sure confirmation that Zack drove the Range Rover or owned that Range Rover. There's no documents, there's no papers. I'm not even inside the country. Quote, "People are just listening to YouTubers or some people that don't know anything." He adds, explaining how his name was brought up after the Range Rover was taken into evidence for reasons that weren't made clear to the public. Jahoub tells me that authorities never spoke with him and that his name seems to be circulating thanks to social media users jumping to conclusions because he appears to fit the bill. He has a goatee, and some say his eyes look similar to the person in the mask standing at Guthrie's front door. Jahoub, however, doesn't see it at all. Jahoub also points out that the Range Rover that's on the MG Motors Instagram account isn't even the same type of car, let alone the actual car from the police activity on February 13th. Okay, so here's the post, 21 likes. I asked Jahoub if he had even heard of the Guthrie case prior to receiving messages from people trying to pin him to the crime scene. He hadn't. Quote, "I know one thing. I slept on Friday. I woke up Saturday. I found myself with thousands of people following me on Instagram, adding me on Facebook. They're adding me on Snapchat for no reason. People sending me messages saying you were guilty, you were this, you were dead," unquote, he said. Jahoub said that people ran with the rumor that someone shot themselves in the Culver's parking lot, and they believed it was him. He said he didn't know anything about that raid or that particular Range Rover or a white van that was seen nearby. Quote, "I didn't sell the car. I didn't own the car. Nobody pulled me over. People saying that the sheriff pulled me over. There's other people that said I killed myself. I shot myself inside a white van. I don't know what the white van is. Still, until this minute, as I told you, they're talking about me," unquote, he said. Jahoub said that authorities did go to MG Motors on Saturday and spoke with the owners, but his name was never brought up. The Guthrie case is heading into its fourth week, and authorities have yet to name a suspect. Okay, so this is basically the same story he told Justin, except for some other things that don't make sense, that he doesn't have any family in Tucson, that I think he at first denied having anything to do with MG Motors, just that he had liked a picture of a Range Rover, but then now it does look like he worked for them. His LinkedIn account supposedly people have been following this. He had Zack had posts on his LinkedIn account that are deleted, and that his work with MG Motors has been removed. And if he's an accountant, I mean, you can take accountant work anywhere, all over the world. Jet Set, if you have if anyone who's on here, if you guys run across any pictures or videos, can you please email me at crimecrunchies@gmail.com, because I want to be able to share. Okay, extradition from Jordan to the US is legally possible on paper and relatively modern by treaty standards, but in practice, it can be slow, political, and in high profile cases, difficult to. Okay. Well, and this is going to be very slow moving, and they could be waiting on DNA, and I'm sure this guy hightailed it out of the country if he is. It sounds like he is enmeshed in this, and he's trying to distance himself. Lady, we watched your investigator, and he is wrong. He was never arrested, and you are wrong. I don't think anyone said no one's been arrested. The purpose, not him. In fact, we are almost 100%. We know who two of them are. Okay, so Carter Kelly, who are the two? Who are you talking about? And nobody said no one's been arrested. First of all, no one's been arrested, and I don't own an investigator, so Bill Garcia is not my investigator. I don't own him, and he doesn't work for me. Okay. So, okay, so there's that. We read the article. I'm not sure that we got more tonight, but I can say, and I'm not sure where Steve Norris, where he's getting this information. I've asked him to email me the link to the birthday video, because if that is date stamped, then that is definite proof that Zack is in the country. And I'm not, this is all alleged. Okay. I'm just going down a rabbit hole. I'm not even saying that Zack is porch guy. I am lady. I like being called lady. And just for the record, I love people who troll me. I like people who write nasty comments, because even a bad comment to me is a good comment. Yes, detained. So, yeah, I don't care. You guys can get freedom of speech. A bad comment to me is a good comment. As long as you're not being racist or being offensive, you can say whatever you want. I have very thick skin. It doesn't bother me. It makes me chuckle, makes me giggle. So anyway, I'm free to go down this rabbit hole and continue down this rabbit hole. I'm not accusing anyone of anything. It's just, this seems very interesting that this person is being tagged by a private investigator that knows his boots on the ground and actually knows what he's doing as far as finding information. And if he is seeing a there, and he has information about Zack being in the country and Zack flying out of an airport and then internationally. And I do want to point out that I did ask ChatGPT about the ransom notes. I want to go through the ransom notes again, because here's the thing. The ransom note from April 6th, I wanted to specifically talk about the ransom letter that TMZ got that referred to the sender having been out of the United States for some time. Okay. The statement from being out of the United States for an extended period was not in the original February ransom demands. It was reported to be in one of the April 6, 2026 letters sent to TMZ by a person claiming to have information about Nancy Guthrie's appearance. And here's the thing. Nobody said that Zack is porch guy. I don't think Zack's eyes are the same. I'm not saying that he is. And I don't have to let it go, Carter, Kelly. I don't have to let it go. Guess what? It's a free country. And this is very interesting. So this person is claiming to be out of the country, and this person writing these letters likes attention, and Zack likes attention. Yeah, we're just drilling it down. And I'm not going to let it go. This could be something very serious. Specifically, TMZ reported that the sender claimed to know information about Nancy's whereabouts. And here's the thing, Zack may not be Porch Guy. Think his eyes are different. He may not be him, but he could be easily connected. Apparently, as we learned 2 or 3 episodes ago, when I went into a very boring triad or a dissertation about wrench attacks, that these are international and they are very well known, and it has been happening. Okay. We just haven't realized it's been happening. But if you're in the criminal world, you're going to know how to get money. And this guy is doing a lot of international travel, supposedly. Dubai is very expensive. Coming to the US, very expensive. So there's got to be money there. And if you're just an accountant, that's not a lot of money, especially with nice cars, nice things. And he may not be a criminal, but maybe he has buddies who are criminals. Okay. All right. So this person claims to know information about Nancy's whereabouts or the people responsible, denied involvement, which he could. He may not know, but maybe he knows the people. Said they had been out of the US for more than 5 years, which lines up. What if he hasn't been in the US since 2019? Okay. Maybe he hasn't. Said they wanted compensation for information, but claimed greed was not their motivation. He might want a payday. Absolutely. All right. This appears to have been the second of the 2 April 6th letters. The one that claimed Nancy had last been seen alive in Sonora, Mexico, which ties to the people searching for Nancy in Sonora, Nogales, Mexico. TMZ reported that the author included the statement about having lived outside the United States for more than 5 years as part of an effort to explain why they were not involved in the crime. So again, this also backs into my question about why does it feel like the feds didn't take Harvey Levin serious about these ransom letters? And this is tied to the group searching for the body that got the anonymous tip in Mexico. It just doesn't feel like Nanos is taking these things serious. And it didn't feel like the feds were taking any of these notes seriously, even though they all had the same Bitcoin account. I just want to know why it feels like nobody is really looking. Who's looking? Why are they stopping people from searching? And you know what? There's a ton of people that could look like Porch Guy. Any guy, this is a black and white photo from a camera. He could be white. He could be brown. He could be black. He could be Arab. He could be Native American. He could be, like I said, white. He could be anything. Okay. He could be Mexican. He could be Dominican Republic. He could be anything. Okay. We don't know. And unfortunately, that style of goatee could be anyone. And supposedly, as we learned last night, that AI can't create something if there's no data to use to create it. So basically, Bill Garcia, the private investigator, is saying that he has somebody who used AI to unmask Porch Guy. But what the FBI search expert on Criminally Obsessed that we watched last night said, AI cannot create something out of nothing. So basically, AI would have had to have had a before picture of Porch Guy without the mask in order to unmask Porch Guy. And thank you for your support, RS. Yes, because we're not sure is no reason to stop looking. And guess what? I'm not going to stop. I don't have to stop. You don't have to stop. I want everybody to ask all the questions. All the questions need to be asked. We need to look at everything. Even if it's uncomfortable, we need to look at it. It's all speculation. I have a disclaimer on my thing that, these are opinions. And we can do what we want. Blech. Okay. I've gone over my time. You guys are angels. I tried to find pictures of Porch Guy with a gap in his teeth because Zack has a little tiny gap in his teeth, but I can't find anything. And Porch Guy has that bite light in his mouth. And you know what? You're right.